Classic baseball in store today. The National League Classic team trying to grab this one from the American League. Happy to be with you. Our broadcast of 2K Sports Major League Baseball. It is a classic game. Hoyt Wilhelm with the knuckler on the mound. As he gets into this classic National League lineup, Steve, what's his strategy?
Well, pitching's the key to win any ball game, and with their quality right-hander on the mound today, that's going to be a key as well against this outstanding lineup. He's going to have to execute his pitches to get the outs.
Now let's glance and see who's starting.
Gary, you take a look at this National League lineup. I mean, every one of these guys is a legend. They can all swing the bat and impact the game in their own special way.
Play ball! And Lou Brock in the box. He'll be receiving the first pitch of the game as we get set for baseball.
Number 20, Lou Brock.
On the way. Starts him off with one at the knees for a strike. Checks his swing. They're going to call it a strike. We'll appeal this one down to third. He went the decision from the third base umpire. Ball. Tries to get him to golf at that one, but he lays off, and 1-2 count.
But Gary, he's a very aggressive hitter on a 1-2 count. He's going to swing at that borderline pitch, so I'm going to try to expand the strike zone right here.
And this is bounced foul to the left side. And he fouls off another one.
Well, anytime you're behind in a count, and in this case the 1-2 count, you have to maintain that focus. You have to really be dialed into what the pitcher's throwing. You have to get in that defensive mode, though, and make sure you can foul it off, and that's what he did there to keep himself going.
The pitch is too close to take, but you've got to try to make contact with it. Swings right through it, strike three.
We'll show you how the American League Classics will look around the diamond.
Gary, take a look at the defense of the American League Classic team here. And boy, you talk about some guys who can swing the bat. Well, this team can flash some leather as well. They can pick it.
Slider just misses. 1-0. On the way. Foul! Swings and grounds this one to the right side. Foul. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Hot shot towards the hole. Throw got him. That is one heck of a play. Diving stop and a nice throw too.
He showed great range on that one. I didn't think he had any chance to get it, but able to get it and get on his feet and make a strong, accurate throw. Tremendous job.
And Matthews in the box. Hit hard on the ground towards third. And that one is through. First hit of the ball game for this club.
A very, very smooth and level swing right there going through that strike zone, and he drives that ball. Now, let's see if this will start a 2-out rally now that he's on second base.
Cepeda is batting. Starts him out with a slider for a strike. Spins and a throw behind the runner. Gets back in time. Here's the pitch. Good hard slider, swung on and missed. 0-2.
Now's the time he goes to the slider. This guy struggles in this situation. It's a good pitch for him.
Fastball called. Strike 3, and the side is retired. So they pick up a hit but leave a man at second and fail to score. We'll go to the bottom of the first.
Now batting, For the American
Juan
League
Marichal is going to be pitching. We'll be starting this one for the National League Classics. Steve will be watching how he approaches this classic. He sends this one in the air towards center. One away. All right, let's take a look at the lineup for the home team here in the bottom half of the inning.
With a classic lineup like this, Gary, it's hard to identify one major threat. There's 9 threats in this lineup.
Here's a look at how the National League Classics will match up defensively.
Boy, this is some kind of classic team right here for the National League. I mean, you got some of the best defenders of all time.
He deals. A swing and a foul off to the right side. Here's a swing and a liner to left center. And that one's down. That's the team's first hit.
Well, a little action going right now for this team. A single here with 1 out. A little bit of momentum. Let's see if they can bring him across.
And it's Reggie Jackson at the plate. Here's the pitch. First pitch, and he misses the fastball. Strike one.
Oh, he just swung late on that one. That's what you call getting gassed up.
Oh, yeah, Mr. October.
Here it comes. Good hard slider that time. He's in control in the count now. 0-2.
Well, anytime you can spot your slider down in the strike zone, you're going to have a lot of success in the game. And I tell you what, any hitter will tell you, anytime that slider's down in the zone, it's almost impossible to hit.
And looked for a moment like he had a chance to make that play, but not to be. Jackson with a foul ball.
Now batting.
Well, the way we keep tracks of pitch counts right now, you know 0-2, the pitcher wants to put him away. The fact that he has to throw another pitch just tells you how defensive a swing the hitter had to keep it going.
Armin Killebrew in the box now. Runner on first, 2 away. Just missed with the fastball, 1-0. And he gets under that one. And at first that one was going to look playable, but nothing doing. It got away. Here's a strike, bottom half of the zone, 1-2 now.
Well, his sliders is put away pitch on a 1-2 count. He tends to go with it.
The pitch. Line drive. That's foul towards first. No runs on a hit, and they'll strand him. First inning is over. Terrific weather day. Could not be nicer for this game here at the yard. And Tony Perez to bat. Slider stays inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, I think we're going to see the catcher calling for a lot of sliders in this one, Gary. He's got a good one, and hitters just have not been able to figure it out.
Fastball just misses, and he falls behind 2-0. Pretty safe bet here. That slider you were talking about will be the pitch we'll see when it's a 2-strike count.
Well, he'll set it up with his fastball. He'll throw the fastball on the corner and then go right to the slider in the same spot, expanding the strike zone.
Here he comes. 2-1 pitch. Fastball on the black. He doesn't get the call, though, and it's 3-1.
Well, you've got to be careful right here. Look, you're down in the count 3-1. You just can't throw something in there and hope he gets himself out. This guy's too dangerous for that.
And the fastball is over. 3-2 now.
A fastball up in the zone like that, a pitch a lot of guys like to hit. He just couldn't swing the bat.
3-2 on the way. And he takes that one that misses for ball 4.
Well, you know, the pitcher's really tired right now, and you have to think that his confidence is a little bit shaken. That long at bat right there, he had a chance to put the hitter away, and now he has to go from the stretch to try to keep this inning from getting out of hand.
And Ralph Kiner to bat. Here's the pitch. Pulls that one off, and it's high, ball 1.
Well, he tried that four-seam fastball up in the zone to get him the chase. Tough pitch to lay off of. Good job by the hitter.
The 1-0 pitch. That's outside, ball 2. The 2-0 pitch. That one's wide of the mark, and it's 3-0.
Well, 3-0 count right here. Hey, look, I'm giving the hitter the green light and letting him swing away to see if he can do some damage.
Taking all the way, it's in there for a strike, 3-1.
Now, he better not throw a 3-1 pitch in that same spot, or it's going to get tattooed, because he's going to be swinging here.
That fastball is in there. He lays off it. Now it's 3-2.
Well, that's a hittable pitch right there, Gary. A fastball in the inner part of the plate, but if you're looking out over the plate, sometimes it freezes you.
Fastball swung out and missed. Struck him out, one away.
With 2 strikes, the hitter wanted the fastball. He got it, but didn't do anything with it.
And Ozzie Smith in. One down, runner at first. That swung on a liner here. And Smith's got himself a single. Fantastic chance here.
Well, he's trying to bury that slider down at his back foot, but he stays with it, does a good job, not trying to do too much with that pitch.
And in the batter's box, it's Lopez. First pitch is a slider low, 1-0.
Now, if you're going to miss, this is where you want to miss. Throw that breaking ball at the bottom of the strike zone. If the hitter swings and puts it in play, it's a ground ball out.
Pauses, and now the 1-0. There's a swing, line drive, center field. That's 2 gone. And that will keep the runners. They have to stay at first and second.
For the National League Classic team, second baseman,
It's going to be Mazeroski now.
Bill Mazeroski.
The pitch. Ball. Fastball is high, 1-0.
Get that thing dancing in there, boy.
Here's the 1-0. 1-0 is a fastball that runs away, 2-0. And look now at the pitch type distribution. One of the hallmarks of being effective is mixing up your pitches.
Well, you know, guys, he's definitely leaning towards that slider a little more than he usually does.
Boudreaux throws to first, side is retired. They pick up no runs on a hit, and they leave 2 on. And it's time now to move to the bottom half of the second. The 5, 6, 7 hitters coming up.
For the American
And it's Billy Williams.
number 28, Billy Williams.
This is swung on, lifted to deep right field as he drops back for it and puts it away.
Well, I followed the scouting reports. They moved the outfielders back before the play, and they were in exactly the right position to be able to make the catch. Good coaching.
Kell gets a turn here. Fastball runs inside, 1-0.
Well, a good pitch right there. He tried to get one in on his hands, but he just missed, though, in off the plate. Great pitch.
And he looks at a slider that's in there, 1-1.
He has great bite on this slider, throwing it down and into the hitter. Gets away with one, and he gets in for the strike.
Here's the 1-1. He swings now and really hit that. 2 away.
For the American League Classic team, second baseman, number 1.
And it's Bobby Doerr now.
Bobby.
It's now 0-1. Watch that fastball go by.
Oh, it's a quality fastball right there, just pounding the strike zone down and away. He had no chance to put that one in play.
0-1 is a slider for a called strike. And he looks at a fastball that's in there, side retired. 7 pitches and it's done. That's how you save your arm and go deep into a game. We'll go to the top of the 3rd. The top of the order is due up next. And Lou Brock in the box. Struck out swinging last time. First pitch on the way. And this one's up the middle. Doerr over to first for out number 1.
Reggie Ashburn.
And Richie Ashburn up. Here's the pitch. Sliders in there for a called strike.
I think we're going to see the catcher calling for a lot of sliders in this one, Gary. He's got a good one, and hitters just have not been able to figure it out.
Get that thing dancing in there, Hoyt.
Here's the delivery. Oh, and he lays off the fastball. Good pitch, 1-1. Pretty safe bet here. That slider you were talking about will be the pitch we'll see when it's a 2-strike count.
Well, he'll set it up with his fastball. He'll throw the fastball on the corner and then go right to the slider in the same spot, expanding the strike zone.
Started to go around, but a called strike, 1-2. And Farrell sets up his target. Fastball got him 2 down.
We got a second now to see the 4-seam fastball in K-Cam.
Number 7.
And I think last couple of pitches he faced, it didn't seem like he was ready for that fastball.
Yeah, he got some off-speed pitch the previous pitch, but you should be able to expect to get the bat on that heater, especially with 2 strikes.
And Eddie Matthews up. When you see a pitching performance like we've seen from the man on the mound today, there have to be a lot of things going right, and they have been. Here's a breakdown of how often he's gotten those hitters to chase pitches outside the zone.
Well, he's really locked in right now. Got the hitters off balance, forcing the hitters to swing at pitches outside of the zone, expanding that strike zone.
Unpredictability. That's the toughest thing on any hitter. When you can't guess with the pitcher and you can't guess location, that makes it so difficult.
In, out of the inning. 6 pitches and it's over. Home half of the 3rd inning coming up. We'll get a look at that leadoff hitter due up here in the inning. Doby settling in. He'll start things off for the home team. We're in the 3rd. Here's the pitch. Screwball just misses. 1-0.
That's a tough pitch in on the hands like that, but it's also dangerous because if he misses, the ball will tail back out over the plate and he can get hurt.
That's off the plate and low. 2-0. Here's the 2-0. Swung on and fouled away. Fastball gets away from him there, and it's 3-1.
Well, this is your dream when you're in the on-deck circle before you go into the batter's box. If you can get the count to 3-1 and in your favor, you know you have the upper hand.
Ground ball to short, picked by Smith. And that is not in time. He's aboard at first.
Well, anytime you get your first hitter up in the inning, big things could happen. It opens up a lot of holes in the defense, and it makes it a lot easier to hit for the guys behind you.
And here's Rick Farrell. The pitch. Line towards second. This one into the alleyway. Should be extra bases. He's around third, and he's heading home. And he crosses the plate all the way from first base. Here's what that double's done for the win expectancy graph.
Well, you see the pitch down in the zone a little bit, but he got a good piece of wood on it and drives it.
What you like about that at bat is the discipline to keep your head in.
Well, I'll tell you what, he changed locations, went down to the zone. It's a solid piece of hitting.
And starts him out here. There's a swing and a liner towards the gap in left field. That looks like a single. The run scores.
Now the pitcher left us one over the middle part of the plate, right where the hitter can make contact. Good piece of hitting.
Boy, with the run scoring there, that's a pretty fat pitch in an RBI situation.
Keep the rally going.
And it's LK line in the box. Well, they definitely got a rhythm going right now. Each player feeding off the other.
Look, you can't always get on the board early, and sometimes you have to play from behind, but when you do get an early lead and the offense is starting to get things going, it just feels like a positive day.
Here we go. Here's the first pitch. There's a swing and a liner. And yet another hit there, seeing the ball well. He's trying for the plate. And the run gets in. Boy, the continuation here of this offense is called big-time momentum.
44, Reggie Jackson.
Great hitting or poor pitching, I'm not sure which. He may be running out of gas, but that's now 4 straight hits against him. Not looking real good.
And it's Reggie Jackson at the plate. Steve, we've seen them continue to charge it up at the plate, and it doesn't look like they're going to be stopped.
That last hit puts a little bit more daylight in this lead right now, Gary. They keep tacking on early.
Here it comes. Here's a ball hit high in the air, deep into left field, to the wall. Oh, that one's off the wall. And he's waved home. And in there, little warm-up action going in the bullpen. That's a right-hander up and throwing.
Well, they're going to wait for the right-handed hitter on deck to get announced, and then they'll probably make the move to the pen.
Boy, this lineup, you just see opportunities here, and this offensive lineup knows what to do with them.
Well, this is unbelievable. I mean, this guy's completely lost it out there. Now, they've strung together 5 consecutive hits against him. Clearly, he's run out of gas.
Armin Killebrew in the box now. Well, they definitely got a rhythm going right now. Each player feeding off the other. First pitch to him. First pitch, a slider outside, 1-0. Well, what types of pitches have been put in play here today? Here's a quick breakdown of exactly that.
Checking out this guy's slider, it's gotten hit several times in this game.
You know, and he's seen that pitch get hit around quite a bit, but he's seen all of his pitches get batted around. A lot of hits early on. And by the way, he's going. I just don't know they can stick with him much longer unless he turns this around quickly.
Hard grounded to short. Smith. And his throw is in time. First out of the inning. And it's Billy Williams. On at second, Jackson. Here's the pitch. Slider just misses. 1-0. And a moment here to see how this pitcher has been mixing up his pitches.
Yeah, and that's why he's not been successful, because he hasn't been throwing a lot of different pitches. He thinks he has that one pitch he can get hitters out. I think you just have to look at the scoreboard and realize that ain't working.
Oh, John, you know as a hitter, if you have a pretty good idea about what pitch is coming and what zone it's coming in, it makes it a lot easier to hit.
Inside with a changeup, 3-0.
Well, the pitcher's just trying to keep the hitter off balance by throwing that changeup. Problem is he got that pitch in enough, but luckily it was down, or else that one could have hurt him.
And that one's going to miss. That'll be ball 4. He'll take first base.
That base on balls doesn't help anything for this pitcher, Gary. Well, he didn't want to lay it right down the middle, but he misses with this one low, and now he's walked him on 4 pitches. He's got to settle down.
Kell at the plate.
Well, this is clearly the right call. He didn't have it at all today. Completely lost out there. You've got to bring somebody in to stop the bleeding. Let's see if they can do it.
He flew out his last time up. 0 for 1 thus far. Watches a fastball that's in there. 0-1. Hit in the air to center field. That's the second out of the inning.
At the plate for the American League Classic team, second baseman.
And it's Bobby Doerr now. And he starts him out. Hit in the air. This one's going well into the stands, off to the right. Back up the middle, and there's another one. They really are stringing these hits out. And Jackson crosses the plate. You get repeat opportunities. The question is what you do with it. What they're doing with it here is using it.
Uh, 0-1 mistake right here. He throws it over the heart of the plate, and he pays for it.
Doby has a turn in the box. And Steve, the offense continues to produce. They keep building on it.
The runs just keep on coming right now. Quality at bat after quality at bat. A lot of outs left, but you know what? It looks to me like they're getting ready to put this one away early.
2 men on and 2 men out. First pitch on the way. Fastball misses away. 1-0. Well, as the old redhead used to say, you get them in the catbird seat and you're on top, and that's where they are right now.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Which redhead was that?
That was Mr. Barber.
Ah, okay. I thought there was some other story we were talking about right there. Well, either way, it's nice to put it out of reach early, no question about it.
Now the 1-1 pitch. Foul! This one's grounded foul, wide of first. The 1-2 on its way. And he struck him out. The side is finally retired. Huge third inning. They really piled it on. The American League Classics have the edge, 5-0. Now
coming to bat for the
Cepeda is the batter now. 0 for 1 thus far.
number 30, Orlando Cepeda.
And the first pitch.
Get that thing dancing in there, boy.
A swing and a ball crunched into right field. This one is clobbered. Out of here, a home run. Well, that home run occurred with no one on, so they'll only chip one off the deficit, down by 4.
Well, they end up hanging the slider over the plate that time, and it gets hammered out of the park.
That slider's supposed to move sideways and away, and it didn't.
It didn't drop out of the zone, and he just crushed it. Well, they needed production, Gary, and they get a little bit, but they've got a long way to go still.
Number 23.
Swings a little late that time. Strike one. Steve, it's a confidence builder. Now, they still got a long ways to go here, but at least they're putting a little niche into that lead.
Well, and confidence such a big factor. So you know what? You make up a little ground here. You feel better your next time around through the lineup. So
maybe capitalize on that pitcher's confidence drop.
You're right.
The 1-1 up the middle. Whoa, get out of the way of that one. Straight back up the middle. And pulls into first with a single. He's on with nobody out.
It's a real tough pitch to hit right there. That breaking ball, good late break on it, but he stays with it and punches a single out to the outfield.
And Ralph Kiner to bat. Changing the eye level of hitters is such a key component. Here we can see the breakdown of how this guy has been mixing locations.
Pretty impressive stuff the way he's been pounding this strike zone. It's an indication of the performance we're seeing from him. You don't have success without good use of mixing locations.
You know, John, I agree. I think that he's kept hitters off balance. Every once in a while, I don't like the pitch selection, but he's executed that pitch even when it was the wrong one.
Starts him out with a fastball for a strike. He deals. That's upstairs for a ball. 1-1.
Well, that pitch right there just seemed to get away from the pitcher, took off on him. Looked like he tried to overthrow that a little bit.
Good looking fastball. Called the ball though. 2-1. Now the 2-1 pitch. Good change that time, but he doesn't bite, and it's now 3-1.
Well, even though you're 3-1 in the count, you still have to be patient at the plate. Make him throw a quality pitch. If he does, be ready for it. And if you're the pitcher, you better not throw anything down the middle and hope he's taking it, because he can take you out of the yard.
The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a high drive, hooking into the corner. Gone, a 2-run homer. Steve, they have cut that deficit in half. A big 2-run fly, now only down by 2. I think there's an issue of how much is left in his tank right here, so that bullpen's going to get active.
You know, it's still early in the game, though, so I'd be surprised if they make this move this early. They may just get him prepared in case they need to go there.
And the WPA graph here will give us an idea of what that 2 RBI home run has done and their chances for a victory.
Well, Gary, as a pitcher, you have to be aggressive. It looked like he tried not to walk the hitter right there, and he paid for it.
That's a little too fat in the strike zone.
You have to stay aggressive. Nice job by this offense to put the pressure on the pitcher. Now he has to throw strikes to try to get him out.
Here's the delivery. Just off the outside, and it's 1-0.
Well, they're not all the way back yet, but they're closing in.
And at this point, they really didn't need to get all the way back. They just needed to feel that the offense was going to be there for them.
And, boy, nothing spells momentum like home run.
Change up just off the black. Falls behind, 2-0.
A good progress for this offense. Anytime you can put up a crooked number in a comeback, that really helps. They picked up 3.
Swing and a liner to right center. That gets down. That'll put him on the tying run up.
Well, you know, Gary, sometimes as a pitcher, you just got to shake your head. You don't know what to do next. He made a great pitch down and in the strike zone. The hitter just got to it quick and got that big hit.
And in the batter's box, it's Lopez.
Well, look for them to keep an eye and hold him close at first base here. He's fast, and they're going to try to get him in scoring position to see if they can't get back in the ballgame.
First pitch he let go by, and it was a ball. 1-0. Fastball swung on, missed. Now 1-1.
For some reason on the 1-1 count, he really likes to be aggressive. I'd have to try to work off the corners a little bit and see if I can't get it off the center of his bat.
Check swing held back, but it's a strike anyway. 1-2. There's a throw over. First base trying to keep him close. And they pitch out. Nobody's moving.
Get that thing dancing in there, boy.
Slider just about had him. 3-2 count. All right, now a look at the number of quality strikes that this guy has thrown today. John, Steve, is there anything there that stands out?
Well, what stands out is when he's been most successful is when he's hitting the inside and outside corners of the plate. He's keeping the ball out of the middle, and that's where you have success in this league.
That's exactly it. Keep the ball out of the center of the plate, make it difficult for the hitter to center the ball on the bat.
And Bill Mazeroski up. Smith on first. He's running.
Strike one.
And it's not in time, and he beats the throw.
Oh, he gets a real nice lead off right here and slides in to beat the throw.
With that great speed, you just can't let him get that far off base. Had no chance on that one. And Farrell spotting the pitch.
Ball.
The 0-1 pitch, a fastball high. 1-1.
Ball.
1-1 pitch, fastball. That's going to be low. 2-1. The 2-1 pitch.
Strike two.
2-1 pitch is a slider, taken for a called strike 2.
Well, you throw that breaking pitch up and in, it's dangerous because a lot of times the hitter will open up, giving on the pitch. That's the one pitch he has left to hit, but he got away with one there.
You're out.
Swing and a miss on the fastball, second out in the inning.
That's how you use your fastball, using it very effectively. 2 consecutive punch-outs.
Hey.
And Lou Brock in the box.
Well, this wasn't the type of start the pitcher wanted, or the manager wanted, or his team wanted. Now they've got to see if the bullpen can do a little bit better.
And he starts him out.
Strike one.
First pitch is a changeup, looked at 0-1.
If the hitter pulls the trigger on this, he's got a chance to drive the ball. He opened up, was out in front, but the inside changeup can be dangerous.
Oh, and Smith takes off. Ball.
He's
Out, trying to steal third. But they strike for 3 runs here thanks to 2 home runs in the inning. The American League Classics have the edge, 5-3.
now coming to bat for the American
And here's Rick Farrell.
team,
Had an RBI double this last time.
number 8.
And here's the first one. A swing and a fly ball to left center field. That one's gloved.
Coming to bat for the American League Classic team, shortstop, number 5, Lou Boudreau.
And Lou Boudreau to bat. He doubled and scored in his last trip to the plate. On the way.
0-1.
And that's in there at the letters for a strike.
Well, this is exactly the situation where he's going to pull the curveball out. This guy really struggles with it when he's behind.
Strike two.
Not letting up on that swing, but he missed it. 0-2 now.
That's a huge swing right there. He was looking for a fastball, but just couldn't quite catch up to it. Great pitch.
Line drive fouled off towards first.
You're out.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out with a breaking ball.
For
2
the
down.
American League Classic
The clock
team,
at 79 on K-Cam and pretty decent movement on that breaking ball.
A fantastic strikeout pitch here. It's headed down and in, and the batter just didn't time this thing right. He never had a chance on this one.
Absolutely right, John. And as in real estate, it's all about location. And it's LK line in the box. Had an RBI single his last time to the plate. First pitch on the way. Swung on, hit well, out there to deep left center field, back at the wall. Goodbye, home run. And another solo home run, extending the lead now to 3. Well, you kind of expect that result when you put a ball down the middle of the plate.
That was either a bad choice of pitches or a mistake. Either way, it's a home run. Now, Gary, this offense has just been in control right here. Extending the lead, going to make it much more difficult to catch them later.
Reggie Jackson.
Here's the pitch to Jackson. That catches the outer part of the plate for a strike. This is, Steve, I guess, with that big fly, the inning these guys were hoping for.
Well, that's exactly right, Gary. I mean, you want to have the big inning. When you get that opportunity, put a number up on the board.
Hit foul by Jackson.
Foul! Take this one deep, Reggie. Take this one over the ball, Reggie.
Jackson with a foul ball. There's a ground ball. Mazeroski. And he throws on to first. That'll retire the side. So they pick up a run on the home run and add to their lead. The American League Classics have the edge, 6-3.
Stepping up to the plate.
And Lou Brock in the box. 0 for 2 thus far.
Number 20, Lou Brock.
Pitch on the way.
Strike one!
He swings on that 0-0 delivery, misses the fastball. Strike one. He delivers.
1-1.
Oh, and he lays off the fastball. Good pitch, 1-1.
Well, that's just some good old country hardball right there. Four-seam fastball up in the zone.
Let's see that nasty hitter, Wes. Let's hit those corners.
Swung on, line to right field. And he'll put that one away for out number 1.
It's not just the players on the field that help win games. It's also the guys in the dugout. They shift the outfielders around to right field, put them in exactly the right spot, and it paid off.
And Richie Ashburn up. He was a strikeout victim last time through the lineup. Here's the first pitch. First pitch, a fastball. That's in there for a strike.
You can really stay out of big trouble in the big inning if you can spot your fastball down in the zone.
Hit hard on the ground to short. Throws to first. He's retired. That's 2 down.
Third baseman, number 7, Eddie Matthews.
And Eddie Matthews up. 1 for 2 in the ballgame. And starts him out here. Off the plate with a fastball, and it's 1-0. Inside with the fastball, 2-0.
Well, like most hitters, when he's ahead in the count, he gets aggressive. That 2-0 count, he likes to hack. Got to be a little bit careful right here. Work to the corners.
He's come back with one on the outside corner, 2-1. 2-1 pitch. That one swung on, hit in the air to deep right center field. And there's the third out. And they aren't able to get anything going in this half inning. 3 up, 3 away. On now to the bottom of the 5th inning.
Stepping up to the plate for the
Norman
American
Killebrew in the box now.
Number 3. Norman
And the first pitch.
Killebrew.
Boy, he scorched that one. That was right over the mound. And he throws on to first for the out.
The
One away.
American League Classic team. Designated hitter, number 28, Billy Williams.
And it's Billy Williams. Walked in his last plate appearance. Here's the pitch. That curve is just a little bit outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
The best curveballs are the ones that start in the strike zone, then fall out of the strike zone. He couldn't get him to fish for that one, though.
Check swing here. Did he go around? They say no. They're going to look down to third to see if he did. No, he did not. And the check swing worked. He'll continue his at bat. The 2-0. Fastball just misses. He runs it to 3-0. Swing and a shot to third. Throw to first gets him in there at 2
The
down.
American League Classic team. Third base, number 21, George Kell.
Kell settles in. Last time up, flew out. Now the first pitch. And he starts him off with a strike on the inside part of the plate.
You know, checking out the scouting report, it looks to me like he's going to come back with an 0-1 fastball right here.
It's fouled away. Fastball swung on and missed. Side retired. And nothing across here in this half of the inning. We've played 5 full.
Now batting for the National
Cepeda gets a shot here. And a home run back in the 4th inning.
Orlando Cepeda.
First pitch on the way. Swing hits this one pretty well. Deep right center. He dives and an acrobatic catch. 1-8 play. Really, take a look. That is an incredible dive to make that catch.
Hey, take a look at this thing and look at the speed and the instincts. The first step quickness is the key to be able to run that ball down. That's some kind of play right there.
And Tony Perez to bat. He singled and later scored in his last time up. He deals. Holds back, and it's a called strike on the inside part of the plate. 0-1.
When he's behind in the count, he's just not a good fastball hitter, so I expect him to attack him with the fastball.
Fastball misses low that time. 1-1.
Well, that fastball right there just missed, just below the knees. Tell you what, a borderline pitch. I think they wanted that one bad.
Oh, he lost control of that one, and that gets him.
Take one for the team. Well, sometimes it's going to leave a mark, and that's definitely going to. The fastball can hurt.
And it's Kiner batting.
Look, here, as we saw that hitter get hit with the pitch right there, it's just a mechanical issue. He'll get that ironed out a little bit, but I don't think it's intentional, certainly.
The first pitch. Watches that fastball. That goes by him for a strike. And now we'll see if he can regroup here, get control of that pitch again, see how willing he is to throw it again right away.
Well, what you don't want to do is let it get in your head where you start to worry about pitching inside or getting too close to anybody. So he's got to make sure his head's right.
Outside for a ball, 1-1. He delivers. Slider just off the black that time, 2-1. Change up, misses, and it's 3-1.
Well, you've got to be careful right here. Look, you're down in the count 3-1. You just can't throw something in there and hope he gets himself out. This guy's too dangerous for that.
3-1 a fastball, swung on and missed, full count.
Well, that fastball right there, he just blew it by him.
The 3-2 pitch. That misses, ball 4. Good effort at the plate to get that free pass.
Well, the hardest thing to do when you have an at-bat that lasts this long is sometimes you have a tendency to be impatient and chase one. Give the hitter a lot of credit. It was a close pitch, but he laid off of it to earn that walk.
And Ozzie Smith in. Base hit his last time. Runners on first and second with 1 out. And the runners go. Oh, and they get that one on the out. Couldn't get the double part of it. Ready with a 1-0. Change up low, 2-0.
Well, he tried to change up right there, but it just stayed down and off the plate.
And Farrell spotting the pitch. Change up just misses. He runs it to 3-0.
Well, that pitch right there, that change up away, if a guy's looking for it, that's a great pitch to be able to hit the other way with some power.
And a pitcher's not going to get the call on that one. That's going to be in the base on balls category.
I just let this battle get away from him, as the batter wasn't going to waste any swing on anything outside the zone.
And in the batter's box, it's Lopez. Here's the pitch. That one swung on, it's lined, and that is in there. The tying run is on base. The opportunity for offense is right now.
Well, an outstanding piece of hitting to load the bases. Picks up that single, and now the pressure mounts.
And Bill Mazeroski up. This is the time to be a hero. Team's down, but a hit right here, and you're right back in the ball game.
Well, no question about that. A hit right here puts them right back in this game. It changes the whole complexion.
Here's the first pitch. Swings on that first pitch, misses the fastball, 0-1.
Some guys throw in, some guys pitch in. He pitched in right there to get the strike. Now let's see if he pitches away.
Lays off the changeup, good pitch, but it's 1-1. Missed with the fastball outside, 2-1.
Well, he tried to go outside on the outside corner with that fastball right there. Just got a little bit off the plate. He's got to be careful, though. You don't want that hitter to get his arms extended.
Lays off the fastball low for ball 3. That misses, ball 4. The potential tying run on base.
The bases loaded, 3-ball count. He goes with the changeup. The pitching coach has to be wondering what he's thinking about.
And Lou Brock in the box.
Well, 2 outs in the inning, you don't want to give a free pass. Make them earn it. As long as you keep it in the ballpark, it doesn't hurt you, but that walk can come back to haunt you.
Bases are loaded with 2 down. Here's the delivery. Watches that one down and in. It's ball 1. And with the walk surrendered as it was in the inning, you got to keep your composure now and not give in here.
Well, he certainly doesn't want to give up an extra base hit right now to allow that run to score, so the defense has got to be playing no doubles.
And he looks at a changeup in there, 1-1.
Well, when you fall behind, you can't look at it like you have to get it all back at once. Get a little bit at a time. That's what they're doing now, just 2 away from tying this thing up, Gary.
Changeup just off the black, and it's 2-1.
Well, nice comeback by this team. I'll tell you what, they just did not give up. And each inning, taking advantage of the opportunities. They cut the deficit to 2, and now they're a guy on and a home run away from tying it up.
And here's a called strike on the off-speed pitch.
Well, they've got to be a little concerned out there in the field right now, Gary. I mean, this lead's been cut to 2 runs, so they continue to put the pressure on offensively. It's been tough.
3-2.
Changeup just about had him, but it's full now.
Well, when you fall behind, you can't look at it like you have to get it all back at once. Get a little bit at a time. That's what they're doing now, just 2 away from tying this thing up, Gary.
The 3-2 pitch.
Ball 4.
And that misses. Ball 4. The potential tying run in scoring position.
Well, after a long, epic battle, this at-bat ends in a walk? Are you kidding me? Someone should have got struck out or someone should have got a hit, but the hitter will take the walk.
And with that right-hander warming up in the bullpen here, I'm not sure quite what they're thinking.
Well, with the left-handed hitter on deck, he's probably getting ready for hitters later in the lineup.
Here's the first pitch.
Foul.
Taps this one foul to the right. Here's the delivery. Looks at a curve in there. He's behind now, 0-2.
Well, they gave up runs, but you have to credit the way they're coming back, and this one's just 1 run away right now.
Ball.
Changeup. Thought he had him, but it's 1-2.
Well, each inning taking advantage of the opportunities before them, and you have to really credit this offense. This is when you have a deep lineup. When multiple innings, you can find ways to score runs. Now they're just 1 away.
He sends this one in the air towards center. And that's the 3rd out. That'll do it. Now, that's a brutal inning on the arm. That's a lot of pitches to be thrown for just 3 outs. The American League Classics have the edge, 6-5. Latter 3rd of the lineup coming up.
Now batting for the American
And it's
League
Bobby Doerr
Classics.
now. He's going to lead off bottom half of the 6th
Number
inning.
1, Bobby Doerr.
First pitch to him. Swing and a shot down the left field line. And in there, he's 2 for 3 today.
Well, a good start to this inning, but let's see if the guys behind him, after he starts out this inning with the single, can follow up and finish this inning off with some runs.
Doby in the box now. Struck out swinging his last time up. The pitch. Ball. Fastball just misses. 1-0.
Well, that pitch right there just seemed to get away from the pitcher, took off on him. Looked like he tried to overthrow that a little bit.
The 1-0 now. On the ground to 3rd. And he's up with it. And his throw gets him. 1 away.
American League Classic team.
Boy, you might have been able to get the out at second, at least getting the lead runner, but at least they got the sure out at first.
And here's Rick Farrell. Drove in a run earlier in the game. Man on second, 1 away. And the first pitch.
Foul.
Fouled off. Here it comes.
Foul.
And he fouls another one off. And that's another foul ball. And another foul ball.
Foul.
Swung on, grounded towards the hole. And they get him at first base. Good hustle by the pitcher to get over there.
Now, great work by the pitcher there. He's normally not called upon to play first base. He does a nice job completing the task and getting the out. Well, this is some kind of battle we're looking at right here, Gary.
Struck out swinging last time. Now the first pitch. Swings and misses at the fastball. 0-1.
Was a hitter, when a guy has a good fastball, you think you have to swing a lot harder to try to catch up with it. You really don't, but he did right there, and that's why he blew it past him.
That's down. The run's coming in.
Oh, he likes that ball up in the zone. He can see it well. He just pounds it for a base hit, driving in a run.
And this is called manufacturing runs the old-fashioned way.
Well, there's so many different ways to do it. Lump the base hits together.
And it's LK line in the box. And they've not had to struggle here at the plate in this game. They just keep building on this lead.
I'll tell you what, Gary, we're seeing a solid, consistent, professional approach from these hitters, and it's paying off. An awful lot going right, Gary.
The pitch. Sliders in there, no balls and a strike. Consistency matters. Don't give up at bats, and he didn't.
Well, that's right. Consistency is the difference between the good teams and the bad teams. Let's see if the consistency continues.
1-1.
Missed with the fastball outside, and it's even at 1. Takes a swing, but the off-speed pitch gets by. 1-2.
Well, not a whole lot you can do when a pitcher's locating that curveball down in the strike zone. There's just not a lot for the hitter to get accomplished with that swing. You just hope to foul it off, and he makes a mistake with the next one.
1-2 pitch coming. There's a swing and a drive, deep right field. And he's there to retire the side. So they score once on 2 hits, 1 man left. The American League Classics have the edge, 7-5.
Now up to the plate.
And Eddie Matthews up. Trying again here, just 1 for 3 thus far.
Number 7, Eddie Matthews.
And the first pitch. Knuckler just misses. 1-0.
Here in the 7th inning right now, nobody out. This is the time to get things going. You're down 2 runs. Make up the ground right now. Don't wait. You know, the pressure mounts. Plus, you get late in the game, you're going to see their best reliever coming in. This is the time to do it.
It's now 1 ball, 1 strike. He watched that fastball that was in there.
The hitter thought that ball was inside. It certainly wasn't low, and it looks like it was in there.
1-1 pitch. This one's grounded near third. Foul. Check swing. They say he didn't go around. They want to confirm that at third. And our third base umpire says no. So he survives a close check swing. 2 strikes on him already. Now the 2-2. Fastball is low that time. The count runs full.
Well, you have to remember these middle relievers, they're not used to coming in and throwing over 45 pitches, but that's where he's at right now. You might see his control run away from him a little bit right here.
Big swing and a miss on a heater. Strike him out, 1 down.
Took a big hack at that one up in the zone. He's going to be seeing that one in his dreams all night long.
Cepeda up now. And a home run back in the 4th inning. Here's the first pitch. Hit up the middle. That gets down. The tying run coming up.
That's a good piece of hitting right there. The hitter stays back, reads the change in velocity off the fastball, doesn't try to do too much, and picks himself up a single.
And Tony Perez to bat. He'll try it again. Hit by a pitch as last time. And here's the first one. Swings. Ball is clobbered high, deep to left center field. Goodbye, a two-run homer. This two-run homer ties the game up. Clutch piece of hitting.
Well, this offense hitting on all cylinders right now, tying this game up. Now let's see if they keep the pressure on and take the lead.
First pitch on the way. There's a strike at the knees on 1. And Steve, big time action here. Boy, you talk about a fly ball that brought people to their feet. That one did.
Well, that's exactly right. Now the pitching has to be very careful because we've got a brand new ball game.
Hit in the air to center field. The catch. And he has it for the second out. And Ozzie Smith in. Last time he walked and then came around to score. On the way. He sends this one in the air towards center. And that's out number 3. They come up with 2 runs to pull even. And we are tied up. And the 3-hole will be coming right up. And it's Reggie Jackson at the plate. He's going to get things started off for us here after the 7th inning stretch.
Reggie Jackson.
Lays off that one outside edge, and it's a strike.
A very effective pitch. The changeup painting the outside corner. Now you can go back hard in or go soft away again.
Ball. The 0-1 pitch, a fastball high. 1-1. Hit foul by Jackson. Jackson with a foul ball. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses for a 2-2.
That's not a spot where he wants to throw that pitch. It's danger right there if it's left out over the plate. He's got to bury that into the dirt.
Another foul ball. Quality at bat here as he keeps it alive. Hit in the air to center field. 1 down. A little warm-up action going in the bullpen. That's a right-hander up and throwing.
Well, they're going to wait for the right-handed hitter on deck to get announced, and then they'll probably make the move to the pen.
Armin Killebrew in the box now. First pitch on the way. Fastball misses away. 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That's a foul ball. Foul. Up and away that time for ball 2. Slider misses, and it's now 3-1. Now the 3-1 pitch. Refuses to go after it. Missed. Ball 4.
Well, good discipline by the hitter to lay off the high pitch and take the base.
Number 28, Billy Williams.
And it's Billy Williams.
Boy, a free pass to put the go-ahead run on first base. That's a mistake, no matter what inning it is.
Here's the pitch. First pitch fastball misses badly that time. 1-0. Boy, Steve, you know this late in the ball game after we saw that earlier walk, that really put some pressure on your pitcher.
Well, no question. Now he's going to have to bear it down and get back in the strike zone. Don't be too fine. Work ahead in the count.
1-0 pitch is a fastball high. 2-0. He's ready. Now the 2-0. Big swing straight away center. Warning track. Wall looking up. Over the wall. A 2-run home run. Perfect time for a 2-run homer. That's what they wanted to get the advantage. One swing of the bat, 2 RBIs. That is a notch on the WPA chart. Let's take a look at the graph.
Well, another one right there, Gary, and that's 2 home runs and for this team today, and they're spreading the wealth. This is where the manager earns his money. Let's see if this move pays off.
Steve, what a great shot that is. A momentum builder that comes late in the ball game, and now a chance to win this thing.
And now they can see if they can continue to get more offense to keep the pressure on.
Ball 1 to begin this at bat. 1-0.
When you throw a breaking ball like this, you want to start it on the corner and break it off the zone, trying to get the hitter to chase. The hitter didn't take the bait here.
And that catches the outer half for a strike. The pitch. Baffled him with a curveball. 1-2. 1-2 pitch coming. Fouled away. Fastball, that's well off the plate. 2-2. And he holds off on the curve. Full count. Three-2 on the way.
Ball 4.
Lays off that one. Misses. Ball 4.
Well, you know the pitcher's really tired right now, and you have to think that his confidence is a little bit shaken. That long at bat right there, he had a chance to put the hitter away, and now he has to go from the stretch to try to keep this inning from getting out of hand.
And it's Bobby Doerr now. 2 for 3 thus far. And here's the first one. Fastball in there. 0-1. Here's the pitch. That misses downstairs for a ball. 1-1.
One thing we know is he's not going to take a borderline pitch at 1-1. He likes to swing the bat, so I'm not giving him anything too fine and see if I can't get.
There's a drive, left center field. It is deep, still going. And out of here, a home run 2 runs, 1 swing. Now a 4-run ball game. They just doubled their lead on that one.
Gary, this offense has just been in control right here. Extending the lead, going to make it much more difficult to catch them later.
The first pitch. Too far outside, 1-0. This game is not a done deal yet, but boy, when you get those kind of hits this late in a ball game, you're on your way probably to a W.
And now the manager's got to start thinking about, okay, my offense has gotten the job done. What's my bullpen going to do?
Now the 2-0 pitch. Slider bends in for the strike, 2-1.
Well, this breaking ball down and in that goes to the back foot of the hitter is very difficult to hit. Very few guys are able to put that one in play.
He watches the fastball go by. Now it's 2-2.
Look that bat, Larry. Ball.
Splitter just about frozen, but it's full now.
But great eye right there from the hitter. Great discipline at the plate. Good location at that one. Just missing outside. Couldn't get the hitter to swing at it.
Fastball got him, 2 down.
Now up to the plate.
This one's right down the middle. He just swung and missed at it. Better check his bat for a hole.
Number 8, Rick
And here's Rick Farrell. Grounded out last time. Here's the first pitch. He swings and drives this one. And that's out number 3. But not before they tally 4 times thanks to 2 home runs in the inning. The American League Classics have the edge, 11-7.
now batting for the
And if you are just tuning in, hi, Gary Thorne along with John Crutch, Steve Phillips. We bring you Major League Baseball on 2K Sports. And in the batter's box, that one's drilled to short.
now batting.
That's 1 down. And Bill Mazeroski up.
Bill Mazeroski.
Here we go. Here's the first pitch.
No strikes.
Swung on, hit. Door. And a good throw gets him 2 down.
Right fielder, number 20, Lou Brock.
And in the batter's box, it's Brock. Last time up, he walked, forced in a run. Here's the pitch. And that's in there for a strike.
Gary, I think right now that you've got to consider trading outs for runs if you're pitching. I mean, listen, just keep getting outs right now. The countdown's there. You only need 4 outs left to win this ball game.
1-1.
0-1 is a fastball inside. That'll even the count at 1. Line drive. That's foul towards first. Fastball called. Strike 3, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, no one left on. Now here come the classics from the American League, home half of the 8th.
Now batting for the American
And
League
Lubo Dro to
Classic
bat.
team.
He's going to lead off the home half of the
Number
8th.
5,
And he starts him out.
Boudreaux.
Line shot into center field. That one's gloved.
For the American League Classic team, left fielder, number 6,
And it's L.K. line in the box. And a home run back in the 4th inning. And starts him out here. First pitch, a slider for a called strike.
Gary, he gets a little over anxious at the plate when the count goes to 0-1. So look for them maybe to expand the strike zone and get him to chase something.
Pitch on the way. Drilled towards third. And it gets down. Hit after hit. They just keep on coming. He's got 4 today.
You talk about a guy who's just wearing out the opposition. That's a 4-hit day for him. He is locked in.
It's going to be Jackson now. Flew out last time. Here's the pitch. Swings, hits this one very high, in the air, deep left center, and bye-bye. That's a 2-run homer. They add a couple more to the lead now, a home run and a 6-run lead. I think there's an issue of how much is left in his tank right here, so that bullpen's going to get active.
You know, it's still early in the game, though, so I'd be surprised if they make this move this early. They may just get him prepared in case they need to go there. Boy, some kind of swing right there, able to catch up with that two-seam fastball, the velocity and the movement. He took him out of the park. Gary, this offense has just been in control right here. Extending the lead, going to make it much more difficult to catch him later.
Here's the first pitch. Hit sharply towards the hole. And he's aboard easily.
Well, that's hit number 15 in them for that one. And, boy, you get 15 hits in a game. The matter is you can just sit back and relax and watch his team work.
And it's Billy Williams. He homered earlier in the ballgame. And the first pitch. Ball! And that misses 1-0.
A great movement on that two-seam fastball, trying to start it on the corner, running it off the plate. The hitter just laid off.
At the belt, the 1-0. Fastball just misses, and he falls behind 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Fastball misses high, and it's 3-0.
Well, that two-seam fastball has to be thrown down in the zone. You throw it up, it flattens out, and you can get hurt.
Taps this one foul off to the left. Here's the pitch. This one's blasted. High, deep, center field, way back there. Over the wall, goodbye, a 2-run homer. 2-run homer just adds to a terrific hitting game they've had.
That's his second home run of the day right there. He's locked in, Gary.
That means he's seeing the baseball, Steve.
Well, this is a pitcher's worst nightmare right here. Throwing it and having it crushed every single time it's over the plate.
Here's the first pitch. Here's a swing and a line drive. And another hit. They're really gunning right now.
Well, that's one of those pitches when it leaves the pitcher's hand, the manager tells him, oh, don't swing, don't swing. Oh, great job, good piece of hitting. How he got his bat on that, I have no idea.
And Dorr settles in. And that 2-run homer in his last AB. He's driven home 3 in this one. First pitch on the way. Knuckler ties him in knots, and it's 0-1. The pitch looks at a slow Knuckler in there, and it's quickly 0-2.
Well, it looks like it's over the heart of the plate, and then it sinks down and in. You give up on it, and he still gets the strike.
Swung and a ground ball to third. To second for 1. But he'll hang on to that, so they will get 1.
Well, quick release by the third baseman. They get the lead runner at second, just not able to turn the double play.
Doby at the plate. Struck out swinging his last time up. And starts him out here. Called strike 0-1.
He's getting strikes with this knuckleball. He gets the inside part of the plate right here. At some point, you just have to commit and swing the bat.
Here's the delivery. Good hard slider, swung on and missed. 0-2.
Pretty good location right there. That slider down in the strike zone. And you know what? After you saw that swing, you might want to come back with another. He's not seeing that one well.
And that's strike 3, and mercifully so. Inning comes to a close, but big-time damage done. But not before they tally 4 times, thanks to 2 home runs in the inning. The American League Classics have the edge, 15-7. Number 2 hole set to get things started. And Richie Ashburn up.
You know, they're losing a little bit in the defensive department with this change. It may be geared more toward offense. It's just odd to make this move right now.
And he takes the ball 1-0.
I think right now offensively you got to start getting base runners. Get as many as you can. I mean, you're down a ton, so you don't need big hits. You don't need home runs. You need base runners.
Change up just off the black. Falls behind 2-0. Here's the pitch. Change up, dips low, 3-0.
The last thing you want to do as a pitcher is walk the leadoff hitter in any inning. All they can do is set up bad things for the remainder of that frame.
Hard grounded to short. Boudreau. And his throw is in time for out number 1.
Just having some difficulty right now trying to make up this ground. And obviously they've got a hill still to climb. And running out of time right now, only 2 outs remaining. So they've got to get something going and keep it going.
And Matthews in the box. He was a strikeout victim last time through the lineup. He's had 1 hit 4 times up. Here's the first pitch. This one hit, and a long foul ball down the left side. Now a swing and a shot toward second. In time for the out.
Down to their final out right here, Gary. So, I mean, they're looking pretty dire at this point. And, you know, but listen, funnier things have happened. They've got to get base runners, though.
Cepeda in the batter's box. And a home run back in the 4th inning. And here's the first one.
Ball.
Just missed with the fastball. 1-0.
Well, he missed with the first pitch, so I'm betting he's going to come back with the fastball right here, as he's done in the past.
He fouls that one off.
Ball.
Ooh, tough to lay off there, but it's 2-1.
Good action on that cut fastball down in the zone. Hitter just laid off.
Here's the 2-1. Headed for the middle. Now with 2 down, they've got a man on board.
Well, a big 2-out hit right there. That's his 3rd hit of the game so far. This man's doing what he has to do to help his team win.
And Tony Perez to bat. 2 for 2 in the game. And he starts him out. Off the plate with a fastball, and it's 1-0. Here's the delivery. A swing line to left center. That should be a base hit. Good offensive chance here.
Well, he's having himself a day right here in this one. 2-out hit right there. That's his 3rd hit of the game so far.
And Ralph Kiner to bat. He homered earlier in the ballgame.
A couple of productive at-bats so far in this one, despite the fact they're losing. The base hit, driving in run carry, then the home run as well. So he has swung the bat and done some damage.
Two down. Runners at first and second. And that's in for a strike. Here's the pitch. Check swing on that pitch, but it found the zone anyway. 0-2. Oh, tough one to lay off right there, that fastball. 1-2. The 1-2 on its way. Lined, foul towards third. Swung on and missed, and this game's history.
Oh, lopsided one, Gary. American League Classics winning this one just in a blowout.
As we check out the highlight reel of our player of the game.
Well, you get on one of these hot streaks, Gary, and all you can do is sit back and watch. And it's an incredible show when it's happening. Spraying the ball all over the field. One just happened to leave the ballpark. That's why he's the player of the game.
And Steve, it seemed like they knew from the get-go they had it. This was going to be their day, and they were right.
You and I like the close games just because there's a little more intrigue for all 9 innings, but the hometown fans, they like the offensive explosion and the big wins.
This is Gary Thorne with John Kruk and Steve Phillips. Hope you had a great time, as good as we did. Then you're all set. See you next time.